Sometimes a small thing happens, a very private thing, it is not meant for many eyes. But then, the world sees. This is what happened with letters. Simple letters from a groom deeply in love. His words, meant for one, touched all. They became a viral sensation, a gentle wave. It started quietly, as love often does. A man named Alex prepared for his wedding. He wanted to tell his bride Sarah something special, not with grand gestures but with pure heart. So, he wrote letters. Not just one, but several, each one a piece of his soul. He never imagined they would leave that sacred space. He never thought the world would listen in. But love has its own way of traveling far. These were not just ordinary wedding day jitters. These were not just words on paper. They were a testament, a clear, shining light. They spoke of a love that felt real, a love that felt deep and true. In a world so often loud and fast, these quiet words found an eager audience. People were longing for such sincerity, such open affection. The internet buzzed, phones lit up, screens showed these heartfelt messages. From one corner of the globe to another, people shared them. They talked about them. They felt something warm spread in their chests. It was a reminder, perhaps, a reminder of what truly matters. The power of honest emotion, shared openly. A groom's love became a global comfort. What was in these letters? No complex poetry, no fancy phrases, just simple, honest truths. Alex wrote about the day he met Sarah. He wrote about her smile. He wrote about her kindness. He wrote about his dreams for their future. Small moments, big feelings, each word chosen with care like a precious gem. The letters carried an emotional weight. You could feel it as you read them. It was the weight of true commitment, the weight of a promise whispered. He spoke of vulnerabilities, of his hopes. He spoke of fears, now calmed by her love. It was like listening to a prayer for a life together, a life filled with understanding and joy. His heart was open on the page. There was a rawness to his writing. It was unfiltered, pure. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. He was simply speaking to his beloved. He wrote about looking forward to quiet mornings and shared laughter over silly things. He wrote about being her rock, and she, his guiding star. This made the letters so powerful. This authenticity is what people craved. Each letter was a chapter in their unfolding story. One might have spoken of the past, another of the exciting present moment, and yet another of the beautiful future. They painted a picture of a love built on trust, on respect, on deep affection. The sincerity was unmistakable. It felt like sunshine after a long rain, a pure expression of a heart full to bursting. Alex and Sarah's story was not extraordinary, not in the way movies show love. They met in a simple way, perhaps at a local coffee shop or through friends who knew they'd click. Their courtship was gentle, full of small kindnesses. They built their connection day by day, like tending a precious garden. Their love grew strong and steady, away from the world's gaze, quietly. Their journey was one of shared moments, long walks and late-night talks, supporting each other's dreams, finding joy in the everyday. This was the foundation of their bond, a bond that felt familiar to many. It was relatable, touchable. It wasn't a fairy tale, but something real, something attainable, something to cherish dearly. Their love was a quiet song, sung just for two. The letters, then, were not a surprise, not to those who knew them. They were a natural extension of who Alex was, and how he loved Sarah. He had always been expressive in his own way, thoughtful, caring, and deeply sincere. The letters were simply his heart speaking, on the most important day of their lives. He wanted her to know the depth, the unwavering certainty of his love for her. This background, this simple, true love story, it gave the letters their deep roots. It explained why they felt so genuine. They weren't crafted for an audience, they were breathed from a place of pure love. This is why the world stopped to listen, because everyone, somewhere deep inside, recognizes truth when they see it, and longs for a love just like theirs. A love that speaks in honest, heartfelt tones. The world's reaction was immense. It was a wave of shared emotion. People cried happy tears, they tagged their loved ones, they wrote comments filled with warmth. This is what true love looks like, many said. He truly loves her, others typed, deeply moved. The letters became a symbol of hope and heartfelt connection. It was beautiful to witness this collective sigh. Why did these letters resonate so deeply? Perhaps because we live in a busy world, a world that sometimes feels disconnected. We search for authenticity, we long for genuine displays of affection. Alex's words cut through the noise. They reminded us of something essential, the simple power of loving someone, and telling them so with all your heart. It was a universal language everyone understood. The impact was more than just likes and shares. It made people reflect on their own lives. It encouraged husbands to write to wives, wives to husbands, partners to partners. It sparked conversations about love, about the importance of expressing it, not just on big days but every day. A single groom's letters inspired many to open their hearts a little wider, to cherish the love they have. In the end, Alex's letters taught us something simple, yet profound. That genuine love, when expressed truly, can touch souls far and wide. It doesn't need to be loud or grand. A whispered truth can be the most powerful. Words from the heart create ripples. Ripples of warmth, of hope, of shared humanity. And that in itself is a beautiful thing, a love story that continues to inspire.